I'm going to try to bring part of the flavor of Japan to Oklahoma today. I'm making a recipe called Japanese style cucumber salad. Now, Japanese approach to cooking is quite a bit different than we have in the U.S., but so, as always, we blend things and pull things and do what we can, and so that's what I'm doing today. I'm giving us sort of the feeling of Japan. And one of the things that I'm doing is slicing our cucumbers very, very thinly, and I want them to be very, very uniform because that's important in Japanese cooking, that it's very simple. It honors things that are in season. They serve things that are in season and not things that aren't. And it's very uniform, and you look at the whole experience. So I'm using a mandolin rather than a knife in order to get that same thickness all the way through. The cucumbers I'm using and the cucumbers you're going to use, because you're going to want to use what's in season and probably in your own garden, I'm using an English cucumber. And if you look at the two varieties of cucumber that I've got here, you can see the difference. Here you see the English cucumber with very small seeds. The slicing cucumber has larger seeds. If you're going to use this one, you need to hollow that out because as they get larger, particularly, they get bitter. And you also may want to peel it because the peel is also somewhat bitter. With the English cucumber, you can use the whole thing. It doesn't have that bitterness to it. It's also sometimes called a burpless cucumber because it doesn't tend to produce gas, either the seeds or the skin, so you can use the whole thing. Now, with these, we would use 2 cucumbers, and then I'm going to stir in with that or mix with that. This is not enough, but you're going to get the idea. 2 teaspoons of salt. And that salt is going to pull the water out of the cucumber and enable it not only to soften, but pulling that water out, it helps us keep the sauce that we're going to put over it, or the dressing, helps keep it from getting diluted. So we're going to stir those together. Remember, we'd have 2 cucumbers at that time. And let them sit for 30 minutes for that straining to come out. Make sure you put it in a colander so it's easy to get the water out, and then put it over a bowl or over the sink so you don't have a mess to clean up on your counter. After that period of time, you're going to take those cucumbers and use a cloth, towel, or paper towels if you want to use those would work also, and just put the cucumbers in here and roll them up real tight to get any excess water out. We wanted to take that water away. We want to make sure that you get the water off them. One step I forgot to mention, however, is that after the 30 minutes, you want to rinse those cucumbers off very, very well, because that'll take away a lot of that extra salt. So rinse them well, drain them again, and then tie them tightly or roll them tightly in a cloth towel or some kind of toweling in order to get any extra water away. So our cucumbers are now having soaked for 30 minutes and been rinsed and been drained well and rolled up well. And this is what they look like. You get this much limper cucumber. They have more salt than they would have otherwise. And so you need to be a little bit careful with the other ingredients that you're going to add, because you don't want to add too much salt to them with the dressing. And our dressing is very, very simple. I'm going to use 1/3 cup of rice vinegar, same as rice wine vinegar, sort of the terms are used interchangeably. Make sure that you are using the type that is not seasoned. Seasoned rice vinegar has about 420, or can have up to 420 milligrams of sodium per tablespoon. Our regular one has 0, so particularly if you're not worried about sodium, but nobody needs that much extra, particularly when we've got some already in there from the salting of the cucumbers. So use unsalted. It's available in a lot of markets now. 1/2 teaspoon of reduced sodium or low sodium soy sauce. About a teaspoon of fresh ginger that's been grated. And a tablespoon of sugar. Now, this type of salad tends to be fairly sweet. It gives you that sweet-sour effect. So we're going to simply whisk those together. And then we're going to pour it over the cucumbers. And when you do that, make sure that you're going to stir very gently, because you don't want to break up the cucumbers that you have here. And then we're going to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill at least a half an hour again, but it could be longer. We just really want those flavors to marinate into our cucumber. When we're done, after the marination in the refrigerator, then you get to have the fun part where you get to serve it, and look really carefully at how it's served, because there's a lot of tradition involved in Japanese service, and the service itself, the way the food is presented, is very, very important. You may not have Japanese dishes, as I didn't, but look for something where you can put individual servings. And then I've got a little bit of carrot that I shaved with a vegetable peeler, and on top of that I have some toasted sesame seeds. You put them in the oven at about 325 for a period of time till they start getting as brown as you would like. And then you serve that, and the presentation and the entire ambiance as a result of the way it's preserved is so much a part of how the Japanese food is prepared. I hope you're going to try this one and enjoy your evening in Oklahoma in Japan. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.